teams that are part of the NCAA tournament, USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona on our end, and just hope that all four of us have an opportunity to represent the great conference that we are. And there's a lot of different ways of gaining respect, but competing in this tournament and winning games is number one. And the fact that 40% of our conference is in says a lot about the quality of our league. And I know that we'll have a fifth, if not a sixth team in postseason play. So it's something that I said this year quite a bit. I've only been in the Pac-10 2 years, and this year's conference was much improved night and day from a year ago. And I'm honored to be the champion of this conference, and I thought the conference tournament and the championship game really represented the teams and the players and what our conference is all about.
So is this about what you expected? 5 seed in Tulsa, or what's your
I didn't really know what to expect. I think 5 seed is a great compliment from the selection committee, and probably once again it gives our conference what I would consider the proper respect. And we've been a very consistent team since the onset in mid-November. And some of our losses, if you really look at who they're to, BYU and Kansas, you're talking about two of the top 10 teams in the country right there. So I'm sure that's all part of it as well.
Talk about this being maybe uncharted territory for the sophomores and the spaces that you have.
It is uncharted territory, and we went through that a little bit in last night's championship game, where in March, it's not only togetherness, it's not only great effort, consistent play, but it requires extreme concentration, especially at the end of games. The littlest details that you don't take care of. Teams are too good, too well coached, have so much at stake that the ball bounces the other way. And as much as you can control the things that you can control, it's important. And that's why when you asked about the Pac-10 tournament for our team, it was really important. And the way it played out, being able to play 3 games, being in the championship game, being in that pressure moment, I hope learning a lesson of being responsible, up 3. Those are the lessons that will help us not only in this tournament but from this point forward. It's growth inside of a program, growth for young players who get older. And but I do believe the experience that we just went through will help us as we transition into the tournament, even though we have quite a few players who haven't been a part of the tournament.
Does going to Tulsa versus Denver, what was your reaction there? Did it matter?
It didn't. We're just so excited to be a part of the tournament. And a year ago, I didn't have a microphone here. I mean, we had to invent a press conference on what to say. And thinking about how far we've come from not being invited to the NIT, and being 16 and 15, and a lot of things that we felt really good about inside of our locker room, but big scope, we weren't a part of the national picture. Returning to this tournament a year later as a 5 seed, I'm so proud of our team and proud of our players. I can't even begin to describe it.
Did you guys hold any event to watch it today or anything?
Yeah, we were all together, and it was fun watching our guys, look at the screen and see our name come up, and you're a part of the tournament before you even get to Selection Sunday because of our season, and you're wondering where you're going, what seed you have, and then who you're going to play against. So I think our guys were just really excited. It was great to see them as a part of the Selection Sunday.
What was your reaction to playing Memphis?
Well, any team you play in the tournament is a great team. I mean, you look at the 12 seeds, and let's go through them. Utah State, 30-3. I've watched them quite a bit. They're a terrific team. Richmond, who I've coached against firsthand at Xavier, I watched them play in the championship game today. I think they've won 7 in a row. They're 27-7. They have a guard on their team who's very similar to Isaiah Thomas, So then you move towards the other 2, which I believe would have been Clemson and VCU in the playing game, whoever those last 2 were, Clemson versus. I mean, you look at those 2 teams, you're like, wow, those teams are really good. And then you look at Memphis and you say, well, they're really good as well. I mean, 25 wins. For them to win their conference tournament on UTEP's home court, what a great job that is. We know some of the young talent they have, and I'm familiar with Josh Pastner and have great respect for who he is. Certainly great respect for what he did at Arizona, not only during his playing days, but all the hard work he put in as an assistant coach here.
How do you go back with Josh at all? Do you know him? Did you know him before?
I just know Josh just in passing, and when he left Arizona to go to Memphis, I probably connected with him at more of a higher level, but just know how hard he worked, and I know he's recruited some great players here, coached hard, and loves Arizona. So, it's ironic that we play him, but many times that's what happens in this tournament.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, when you saw that, what was your reaction, or knowing there would be sort of that storyline there as well as everything else on the line?
Well, the storyline is we're playing a very good Memphis team, and both teams want to advance badly. You lose and your season's over, and outside of that, there's not a big story other than the respect that we have for Josh and all the hard work that he put in, and Jack Murphy as well. I know those guys have given their heart and soul to Arizona and love our program. I'm sure on their end they probably would have loved to have played other teams besides Arizona for that reason, because of how much they've worked to build this program. But I think it's a compliment. They're in the tournament, and so are we. So we're going to play the game and see how it goes.
They have what are your early thoughts on them?